Alright guys, we had that 300 layer down yesterday. I've been a bit busy this morning, so I couldn't get stuck into this thing. It's looking a bit cloudy today, but hopefully it doesn't rain. Cut out all the pieces for the 600 layer now. So I'm going to strip all these out again now and go mix up some resin and start putting these in piece by piece. So all the overlaps are different to the ones underneath. You don't want all the overlaps all in the same spot all the time. Creates a weaker spot. So all of these are all staggered from that first layer. Alrighty guys, we're on day number 3. It's pretty early at the moment. A lot of moisture around last night, so we'll just wait for all this dew to go away before I unwrap that thing. So filling the boat full of water. But you might have seen in the previous videos around each of the cross pipes in it and the drain pipes, I've got a circular patch around those just to reinforce it. So what I'm doing now, just to get ready for today, just trace around this bucket on some scrap offcuts and yeah, just make some new ones. I'll show you how we put them on later on. But yeah, it's pretty much just for reinforcing where the pipe joins to the side of the hull. And I keep doing that in 300 CSM just because it conforms a bit better to the pipe. I think the 600 would be a little bit too rigid. Alright guys, so I'll just show you how I put these things on. So I've cut a slit in it. I'll just push it over the top. So just on one side, I'll wet that out and let it dry and then do the other side. I think it's just going to be too much for the resin to go through if I try and do that overlap in the middle at one shot. So just got to neaten up these edges a bit. This stuff's a pain in the butt to get in. You mess it up pretty easy. It moves all around, but it won't be seen anyway. So after this layer will be another layer of 300 chop, and that should hide it all anyway. So anyway, we'll get some resin mixed up and start wetting this stuff out. So what I'm doing here is marking where the edge of the bulkhead's going to be on the floor, just using a string line and a plumb bob, or a sinker in this case. And I was iffy on which side I was going to put the bulkhead on these things, but I think I'll put it on the outside here, just in case one of these cracks. and I get a leak into the boat, I don't want it leaking into this section where I'm going to have it foam filled and inaccessible. This side will be a storage hatch, so I'll be able to see and clean up any leaks. And it doesn't really matter for these ones because I'll be able to access those from either side, but I'll probably put them on the inside here. And same with this one. I'll put it on the back side of this, so it's accessible from the hatch here. And that minimises the chance of leaks into this section. I'll just wait for this plumb bob to settle, and I'll mark it on the floor, and that's where the edge of the bulkhead should sit down on the hull. And then to mark out these shapes, I could do the same thing with the bulkhead, with the plumb bob, and just go across and measure the length of the string every time, and then reference that to the K-cell. But what I'm actually going to do is put a big board in here down to the bottom on a point, and then make a ticking stick and just take references off the hull every 100 mil or so, 150 mil, and then change that over to the K-cell and cut it out. Alright guys, so this is how a tick stick works. Got 2 notches cut into it, both different, you don't want them being the same. Now we'll just go across and touch the hull in different places and just mark our ticks. So we'll mark that there, mark that there. Then when we lay this board down onto the K-cell, we just line these marks up again and mark the end of this onto the K-cell, and that will give us that reference point. So I'm going to go through and put all the ticks around. First one being there. If you can see that camera angle, that's where I want the bulkhead to finish. So that's going to be my very first mark. I'll just get that right there. And that's it. We just line those marks up again on the K-cell, and that will give me that mark there. So I'm going to do that in about 100, 150 intervals down through the hull now, and mark them onto this board. And that should give me my template to cut the bulkhead out. So not sure if you can see them there, but all of those marks around there are the template for this bulkhead now. So I might transfer this to some cardboard and just roughly fit the template, and then mark it out on the K-cell and cut it out.